It's Killer Queen Antique Jewelry live preview for the Super Sunday sale. Antique rings, antique necklaces, antique brooches, pearls, gemstone, all here live from England. It's just a preview. Thought I'd give you all a look at what's available, what's out, and what's available today. There's always more available, but this is what I've taken out for today. Hi, Barb. How are you? We missed you yesterday. It was predominantly, we did sell some gold, but it was predominantly silver. I don't know if you got to watch the show back, or at least the preview back. It's very quiet here. I can't wait to get my CD player back up and running so we can have some nice vintage and antique music. Hi, Chrissy G. How are you, honey? Yeah, we have to work so we can buy. It stinks. But it's the truth. So I think I have some brooches on here. You're going to be able to see a lot better once we go horizontal. I think a lot of this is going to be in the chat. But maybe you can see there's a massive ring tray out. Not to mention that phenomenal 15 karat Edwardian South Sea pearls and citrine. 16 inches long. Clasp is 15 karat. All of the wire that the stones are set what's called en tremblant. The necklace is amazing. If you're a citrine person, it is amazing. The pearl is from, I want to say, the Gulf in Iran. Those pearls. And I'm not sure if they grow a pearl that large. Is probably that pearl is probably South Sea and natural. I couldn't even imagine. I think it would literally, that pearl would at least be the price of the necklace. What I'm going to ask for the necklace. You can Google lens that necklace and find them and see what they retail for, if anyone is interested in it. Of course, I've never seen them done in 15 karat, but yeah, the wire, everything I had XRF tested because it's not marked 15 karat. Yeah, I threw a coat of dark blue nail polish on over top of the red and painted my one peeled nail just because it bothered me so much. It's 16 inches long. I have altered necklaces like this with a box clasp. We just take the box away and add the appropriate weight of chain. We can add, you know, ideally it would be no more than an inch of chain in the back, but you could add up to 2 inches of chain on either side. Of course, we do gold. My tummy is making some odd noises. If you hear gurgling, that's me, my noisy belly. Sorry about that. Usually the music covers it up. These are the antique citrine. And look at the pearl. Look at the luster on that pearl. And these are all natural seed pearls. They're not cultured at all. I've seen jewelers, even fantastic jewelers, try to replicate this on trombone, and they're basically on wire and they move with you. Where did you find those, Barb? Because they're very hard to get a hold of. Did the jeweler that you work for get them for you? Mama B, my mods have been with me for years, but thank you for offering. Actually, Ellen has, I just made Ellen a mod recently, and she's been with me for years. It's people that I know for years. Oh, you're lucky. You're so lucky. They're so hard to get a hold of. And luckily, you got them in 10 carat, they'll wear better. People like get upset sometimes when I'll send like a lower carat gold for an extender, but the lower carats, that's the workhorse. That's how around the turn of the century, 9 carats became a popularity because it's the pieces that are 9 carat don't wear out. The higher carat wears faster. It's softer. It's heavier, but it's softer. No, you can't see them in the back. I mean, it's behind your neck. The only time, if you had a necklace like that and you extended it, the only time you would ever see it, and I doubt that people would pay attention, is if your hair was up. They're going to be too mesmerized by the front. They're not going to worry about a little chain extender in the back. Oh my. I hope today is busy because I get just so tired if it's not. I'm sure you all do too. I think I've showed most of the new things yesterday and over the last couple days. You might be surprised by some of the things that are on the tray. I know there were a few people that were after the Lucan Booth, the amethyst heart and crown with pearls. And then I had a couple people ask about the double Lucan Booth, the sweetheart, the Scottish 18, both around the 1880s bracelet. That's amethyst and citrine. Which, funny enough, is marked 9 carat, but XRF higher, closer to the 12 carat side. But they can only, if it's not exactly 12, they have to go with the lower, even back then. That is also a very good indication when you get antique jewelry. And if you have it XRF'd, it's never like on the money. It'll never come up exactly 9 carat. It'll never come up exactly 12. It'll never come up exactly 15. It'll always be usually a little over. They did not have the weights and measures and accurate standards that we have today. No, honey, you didn't have to come in. I mean, well, yeah, we are going to start soon horizontally, but I always go live now for a little bit in front of the show just to attract new people and to put it out there. Not everybody is going to watch the show or see the show if they're not subscribed. But when you put it in shorts, it reaches more people. So you had to change her because Matt doesn't take over until you start? Is is that the deal that you 2 have? Her husband's so good with the baby. He's wonderful with Scarlett. Oh, he was eating. Yes, we have to let Matt eat. You gotta feed the baby, but we've gotta let Matt eat too. So, what are you having there? Is he having a late lunch or an early dinner or just trying to grab something because he knows he's gonna be busy with the baby? And did you get something to eat? I always tell Deb, make sure you get something to eat before the show. Or, I mean, you all, the moderators, you guys don't have to talk. I do. So, I can't really eat. Sometimes if I haven't eaten, I'll jump off and take a little, TMP break and try to cram something into me. But I have eaten tonight, so not a problem. I think that's why my tummy's a little upset. I had a bacon sandwich. I had a BLT. I just didn't want a big dinner. Or as they say here, they say tea. When you think of British people having tea, I know you all think, we're sitting around drinking, sipping tea. Well, I mean, you can be. You can have something like an afternoon tea. Or you could have, a high tea. Or most people, they call that dinner. For dinner, they'll say tea. And then they call lunch dinner. It's very confusing, especially when you first move here. I was like, oh, my ex would say, oh, will we have dinner? And I'm like, well, this evening? No, lunch. Oh my. Hi, Deanna. Pork and sauerkraut. Um, yeah, I love pork and sauerkraut. It doesn't like me. It's good. It's supposed to be really good for your gut. Sauerkraut. I was just separating those earrings, Deanna, to make sure I put them aside and didn't show them. Or somebody didn't see them and say, hey, I want those. Okay, let me grab. Here we go. Oh, you were supposed to go out for your anniversary. Oh, no. What is it, snowing? Some people said it was snowing last night. Other people came back with it's raining. She's in Ohio, near the lakes. Very nice. Very nice. Well, Nick's a picky eater. He won't eat macaroni and cheese, which is probably better for him that he wouldn't. But he's not a pasta person, which is kind of good for me while I'm still trying to lose, the last 15 pounds. Pasta, we know that, it's not very easy to lose weight when you eat pasta. And I could honestly eat it every day. Does Matt eat pasta, Hope? And when did I make ribs? I made barbecued ribs. Probably 2 or 3 days ago. Pork spare ribs. Ew, no. not into snow whatsoever. I don't miss it. It was actually spitting snow here the other day. It was raining, and I was like, wait a minute, that rain feels fat. And I looked up, and it was actually fat snowflakes. Oh, is your internet going to be okay? Yeah, oh, Ellen, where you at are in Canada? When will it be spring? Because I can remember talking to you in April last year and you had snow. Ugh. It's about 40 degrees here and dry at the moment. Thank goodness. I would guess on Mount Shasta you would. Hi, Monica. Welcome in. HC. If I didn't see you and yell at me, if I haven't said you hello to you, because I'm, me, I'm chatting away, checking out my desk, making sure that I have everything out that I want to present to you all this evening. This one, I'm not going to add a clasp until somebody tells me, unless somebody buys it and then tells me what their bezel set, amethyst, what size they want it at. I mean, I'm sure someone's going to want it because it's absolutely gorgeous, but I won't attach the clasp until whoever decides they want it. You get it at the right length. No. Mm-mm. Nope, I don't miss all of that. I don't miss cold weather advisories. I don't miss snow warnings. Not at all. Not in the least bit, the slightest. I don't care if I don't ever see snow again. I'd be just fine. Which, saying that, Cheltenham does get snow, especially in the hills and the Cotswolds around it. But I'd rather look at it. I'd rather look at it on the hills than look at it in my front garden or back garden. What is it in Miami? Minus 29. No. Yeah, I know, honey. Get out of Ohio. I don't know if Florida's the way to. I know that his family would like you to move to Florida. Hi, Linda. Hi, Cache. A foot of snow. Ah, no, you're right above Hope, though, aren't you? 84. Oh, I'll take 84. Give me 84. Go ahead. Give me 84. I'll take that. We'll stay live like this for, till at least a quarter past, and then I'll switch over to the horizontal. We'll stop the feed. Remember, make sure if you're subscribed to the channel that you've clicked on the bell so you get all of your notifications. And I'm only going to be a minute or two and then I'll come back live again. But we'll come back on the horizontal so you can see the whole desk. Because I know all of you like it better that way. It's too difficult for you to see more than just a few pieces this way. But it does allow for new viewers to see what we offer. And what I do offer is usually from Georgian. My antiques usually start in the Georgian era. Now, the Georgian era covered a long period, from the 1700s well up into the 1800s. So, but yeah, I have pieces that are 200 plus years old and pieces that are vintage. Oh, well, thank you, Catlin. Welcome in. we're getting ready, since you're subscribed, we're getting ready to have a Sunday sale. And most of that, we showed a lot of sterling, antique sterling silver yesterday. I still have a ton, literally a metric ton, or at least that's what it feels like when I have to move it, of antique sterling silver. But today I wanted to bring out a ring tray. So most of the rings on the tray, if not all of them, no, there are a couple that are vintage. The majority of them are antique, at least 100 years old. And there are several that are 200 plus years old. Oh, thank you, Barb. Yeah, there's still a ton. Well, there's always antique silver available. I don't always show it. I'm terrible. I need to have more dedicated silver shows. Yep, it's the ring, it's the tray, it's the ring tray, Ellen. Yes, ma'am. And some of the rings that I've had for a little while, I'll give you the best possible price on them because, I have to sell it to buy more. It's not like I can't just go off and buy more. I can, but I'd like to sell some current inventory. So you'll get the best. You'll see, even though gold is out of this world at the moment, I didn't check the scrap price today, which is funny because I never get anything at scrap. But I still weigh everything, and you would know what something would scrap for. I wouldn't sell anything that would be going to scrap. If it was head for the scrap bin, it would be something that, couldn't be repaired, couldn't be saved, couldn't be salvaged. And even then, if it's a couple 100-year-old piece, do I want to do that? No, because someone will want it, someone will love it. So what, 14 people in and 14 thumbs up. That's amazing. I'd love to get more people in. I was watching some inane, scrolling, not watching, scrolling through lives, as you do. Someone had some kind of odd cooking show on, and they had, listen, I like to cook, so it was odd. It was an odd cooking show, and they had like 200 people watching the stream, but who knows how long it had been on. I'm like, oh, I do get like 200, 300, sometimes more live, but yeah, obviously more views. Yeah, no, I mean, it's crucial that you know what something weighs, especially if something is really heavy or, you know, like this cat. It's solid. It's 9 karat gold with a diamond collar. Hi, Leonore. How are you, honey? Thank you for coming in. Let me tell you what this cat weighs. It's scary. 9.55 grams. That is a heavy, hefty gold brooch. In fact, I know it's the heaviest gold brooch that's here. But someone who loves big cats, oh yeah, he has a ruby eye as well. An old cut diamond collar. And a ruby set eye. He's large in charge and incredible. Yeah, I know you would love it, girl. It's only 9 karat. So even if you were to scrap this, even if you were to scrap it, It's 20, probably 28 pounds a gram at the moment. So that's about 36, 36, $37 a gram. So you're talking, even if you scrapped it, you would get like $370, something like that. Am I saying that right? Yeah. And to be quite honest with you, to buy it, it's not that much more. So some pieces I can sell a little bit, over scrap, depending upon what they are, and it's so heavy. Oh no, it's too beautiful to scrap. And if you were a cat person, I always tell everyone, and they don't believe me until they try it themselves. Your brooch is your most versatile piece of jewelry. It's the most versatile piece of jewelry you own. Rings go on your hand, necklaces go on your neck. Sometimes you can put them on your arm. Some necklaces can convert to bracelets. Um, but your brooch, you can pin a brooch at your cuff, it becomes a bracelet. You can pin it to your breast, to your chest. You can pin it at your throat. You can put it on a ribbon and make it a necklace. You can put a brooch converter on it and make it a pendant. It Your brooch is the most versatile piece of jewelry you own in your jewelry box. So never discount a beautiful brooch. Hi, Lily. No, and I would not ever scrap it. No way. It's too fabulous. Just the Georgian opals that have been here for a little while. I mean, it's Georgian and they're opals and they're in a little glass tube and they're 15 karat. I've had them for a little while. Would I ever scrap them? Not in this lifetime. Not ever in this lifetime. It's too fabulous. It just needs the right person to come in who wants it to buy it. And I'm quite happy hanging on to my stock until I do that. But the rings, some of these have been with me for over a year, and it's time for some of them to go. Now, I wouldn't scrap the cat, honey. We were just talking about some people ask for like the weight of jewelry, like on the premises that they would scrap it. I don't think please, if you have jewelry and you're that desperate and you need to, I'll buy it. I'd buy it back before I'd let you scrap it. Yeah, I had the most amazing Art Deco. I used to wear fur coats. Here, it's frowned upon. Fur is frowned on here, especially real animal. Whether it's vintage, antique, they still don't like it. Hi, Kim. The UK is big anti-fur. Which is funny because I have lots of furry animals here. I know I've dated a few. That was supposed to be funny. But back in the 80s and the 90s, when it was really, really trendy in the US, I had loads of fur coats. My sister, my mom, they all have fur coats. Um, I had this gorgeous Art Deco articulated. One of my dear friends bought me this gorgeous articulated panther. You've all seen them. And it was a silver and rhinestone. It was deco, and it went over the shoulder of this fur coat. It was amazing. And the clasp broke. I should have, now knowing selling jewelry for as long as I have, I would have put a safety on it. And you can get safeties for your brooches, for many of your brooches. And, if the antique ones don't have them on, I do try to find them, especially the pricier brooches, and attach them because that's something you wouldn't ever want to lose. I love the fox faces and tails and yeah, no, yeah, I know. We know, honey. And did Did you all see the fox, the Victorian fox with ruby eyes? He's just the coolest thing. Yeah, no paws, just the head. It's a very British thing. It's a very equestrian thing. You know, it's all meant to be, back then hunting foxes was the big deal. They still do it. Oh yeah, yeah, the paws, the feet, yeah. They'd have the whole like taxidermy, but the animal would be flat. Oh yeah, the eyes are little cabochon rubies. They're adorable. I think when you find most of that Victorian, Edwardian, and Art Deco jewelry that they have either ruby or garnet eyes. Although, me personally, I'd probably want emerald, but the rubies are striking. This one came from one of my it's actually on loan from one of my dealers. Um, she works for a jeweler in Cheltenham. And honestly, if that doesn't sell here this week, it'll sell race week, which is like the second week of March in Cheltenham when we have they used to creep me out when I was little too, Lily. And now it doesn't really bother me, especially since I know many of those animals have been dead for 100 years. Yeah. I didn't like them when I was younger, the heads and tails and little paws, and now I think it's kinda cute, actually, and at least it doesn't wind up in landfill. I'd rather see something like that worn than, thrown away. I didn't have them done, honey. I just threw dark nail polish on over top of the red. I didn't have time to, because it's gel polish, so I'd have to have it removed. Either with the remover you can use to do that or the files when they take it off. With the fox in the middle. Yeah, they fox hunt. Oh, the Parker Bowls. Yes, the Parker Bowls, darling. Camilla's ex. Yeah, well, it they still do fox hunts. When I lived in Somerset, England, there were still very wealthy local fox hunts. Is it 9 carat, Linda? It's probably English. It's a very English thing. In fact, I've never seen them really. I wasn't going to bring it because it is very British. And I don't have a ton of British clients. I do have some. Mm. If it's 9 carat and it's marked 9 carat, it's probably British. Because they wouldn't give the full hall markings to smaller pieces, like smaller brooches and pins. You've seen it a million times here, where they just mark the gold content. And then other times, if they're really early, they don't mark the gold content at all. They didn't have to until I want to say the end 1898. Oh, yeah, fox are clever, but bunny rabbits can't outsmart them. They can evade them. But a fox is a clever animal. Well, what do they say? Cunning like a fox. He found it in a scrap can? Oh my goodness. Well, I would have to say modern jewelers, t probably, people tell you to check pawn shops. I wouldn't even check pawn shops. I would check modern jewelers, people who sell modern jewelry because they'll take antique in on trade. So, you might be able to get some antique jewelry. Not that I think there's tons of it in the States, but you might be able to get some antique pieces from modern jewelers. Ones who take, you know, I would ask, do you buy in? Do you take things on trade? Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind. They did do silver gilt ones, but it's probably gold because gold wasn't, it was valued back in the day. Of course it was, because that's how costume jewelry started in the Victorian era. Um, it was jewelry for the masses. That's what costumes always been stood for and what it's all about. It's affordable jewelry. It's so people who didn't have the money of the Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, and, Parker Bowles could buy jewelry. No, it wouldn't really be from a fox hunt, honey, but it's more gentry would have worn it to, like, signify that they, support fox hunting or they were genteel. You'll see quite a bit of it in Cheltenham, is all I'll say. Lots of tweed, lots of fedora hats, which I just bought myself a fedora hat. Yep, I have a brown fedora. It's beautiful and was handmade by a London hat maker. Of course, I bought it vintage. Bought it secondhand or maybe third hand, or who knows how many hands have been on it or heads have been on it. Yes. Well, not so many ascot during the day here, but definitely in the evening. Waistcoats, tweed, gentrified clothing, I call it. Corduroy, um, like the nicer side of a cargo trouser, flat caps. There you go, wax jackets. Ellen knows. Ellen knows. Well, she lived in Northern Ireland. She knows what posh people were. The gentry. And do I have all of that? Yeah. I want to fit in. And I kind of like the smart casual. Yeah, I have a barber wax jacket. No, but it's okay to dress, especially if you just want to blend in. And sometimes when you're on the street, that's all you want to do is just blend in. Yeah, very, very, very British. Cheltenham is a very British, posh town. It's very hip, it's trendy. Everybody that lives here, and especially people that were born and raised here, they're special. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. Oh, I have never had to wax. I've had my barber coat for literally 10 or 12 years. I've never had to wax it. I've never had to re-wax it, let's put it that way. It's brilliant in the rain. Absolutely brilliant. and it doesn't, a lot of rain gear here, because it rains quite a bit, a lot of rain gear here suffocates you. You feel like you're like a baby in a diaper. Hi, Ramel. And the barber's actually cotton, wax cotton or wax canvas. So they do breathe. So you can wear them, not get wet, and they don't you just wipe them off with a damp cloth if they get dirty or mucky or and they come up like new. Yeah, I wouldn't have to try and re-wax it. I think if I had to re-wax it, I'd probably go get a new coat. But it still looks good as long as you keep it, I wouldn't keep it out where it could get dusty because wax can get to it, but I keep it in the closet when I'm not wearing it. But have I been out in the muck and the rain? Oh, absolutely. And just with a damp cloth, it came off. In fact, I think they warn you not to wash them, which would make sense. All right, we've been here longer than I thought we would. I've got 25 people watching, which is amazing. Thank you for coming in. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing so that way you can catch the sale that we're going to go over to next. And that is going to be predominantly gold and rings. Now, if someone asks for silver, of course I'll show it. Because I do have some beautiful silver pieces. Some really stunning silver pieces. So without any further ado, let's end this stream and go to the horizontal and get the sale going. Because Hope and Ellen are moderating and both have children. And, I have children, but Hope's one of them. They're grown. So if you don't come over to the sale, thank you for coming into the preview. It'd be lovely to see you at the sale. But if you don't make it there, thanks for coming in. So, Hope, can you put my email address in the chat? If there is anyone new here and you'd like to bid, you need to pre-register by emailing me and just emailing me the email associated with PayPal. I hope we'll put it up in the chat. DanaStewartCoats@gmail.com or Ellen, one of my moderators. And I'll see you all very soon. Yeah, because I can't do it. not vertically. I can horizontally, but I can't do it vertically. It's weird. There we go. Thank you, honey. See you soon, guys. Thanks.